One rough day would make or break Shedeur Sanders. People saw he completed 3 out of 8 passes and made a big deal out of it. It turned into a huge story all over the country. People who didn't like him said he wasn't good enough for the NFL. They called him QB4, said he'd fail, and gave up on his first season. They posted all over the internet, saying he wasn't ready for the big leagues. They even said his rookie year was done before the Browns. Jerseys were even ready, but they missed some important stuff. So let me tell you what really happened. Those 8 passes he threw weren't to the main players. They were to guys way down the list, still figuring out how to play. Those backup receivers were new and didn't know the playbook well. Plus, the offensive line was all mixed up, so it was super tough for Shedeur. You need to know the whole story, but people ignored that part. Then, just one day later, on day 2, everything changed. Shedeur walked out onto the field in Cleveland, ready to go. He put on his gear and showed everyone what he could do. He went 4 for 4 in his one-on-one drills. Perfect. No one dropped his passes, no mistakes, just pure skill. Every throw was right on point, hitting his receivers perfectly. He threw passes that were timed just right, landing exactly where they needed to. He made throws that tricked the defense, like a magician on the field. He read the defense like a book, seeing everything before it happened. But guess what? The media didn't care. They barely talked about it. No big stories or fancy news alerts about his awesome day. It was like they didn't even notice his perfect performance. So I'm here to tell you the real deal about what's going on. This video is all about clearing up the mess from day 1's bad story. We're flipping it to show how day 2's perfect 4 for 4 really went down. I'm gonna break down the true story of Shedeur Sanders' first days. We'll talk about 7 big things that matter, why the numbers don't tell the whole story, how day 2 changed everything, what makes Shedeur special, how the media plays favorites, why the team lineup isn't set in stone, why he'll soon get to play with the main guys, and why Shedeur's rise can't be stopped. If you're sick of fake news and clicky headlines, stick with me. You might want to watch till the end and subscribe. I give away jerseys. Shedeur Sanders isn't just answering the haters, he's shutting them down. Let's dive into the real story behind all the talk. Every stat has a story, but without the details, it's just made-up drama. On day 1, Shedeur's 3 out of 8 passes became a huge deal. People said he wasn't ready, called it a rookie mistake, and said he's just a name. But they didn't tell you those passes were to low-level receivers. Those guys didn't know Shedeur well and were still learning the plays. Some of them ran the wrong routes or got confused on W. They were also up against defenders who knew where the ball was going. Imagine judging a star like Joe Burrow on 3 out of 8 passes to random players. Or think about Justin Herbert getting judged for throwing to practice squad guys. It sounds silly, right? But for Shedeur, it was a huge story. They made it sound like he was struggling big time. What if 5 of those 8 passes were dropped by the receivers? What if 2 were because the players weren't on the same page? What if 1 was a long pass where the defense messed up? Those details didn't make it into the big stories people saw. Meanwhile, other quarterbacks like Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco got a pass. They're veterans, so their mistakes were just called training camp rust. But when Shedeur, a rookie, has a tough day, it's a huge deal. People grabbed that 3 for 8 stat and ran with it. They ignored that Shedeur was still learning the plays and staying calm. Even with tough numbers, he showed he could be a star quarterback. So, don't believe that simple 3 for 8 story. It's not the full picture. Shedeur was a rookie dealing with tough situations, but he still showed he's got what it takes. Less than a day after all the hate, Shedeur came back strong. On day 2, he showed everyone what he's really about, pure performance. Today, he stood tall against second-string defenders. He threw perfect passes to backup receivers, hitting them right in stride. He finished 4 for 4, no mistakes, no errors, just perfection. It wasn't just about the numbers, it was about how awesome his throws were. He threw a pass over the middle that landed perfectly, even with defenders nearby. He made a long throw across the field that hit the receiver just right. He even threw a quick pass on the run, with defenders closing in. These weren't easy throws or simple plays. They were tough ones. Shedeur made them look easy, throwing with perfect timing and confidence. He was smooth, never hesitating, and always knew where to throw. He read the defense like a pro and threw with NFL-level power. It wasn't luck. It was just Shedeur being really, really good. The only thing he could do better is throw the ball a tiny bit faster. But a lot of the media didn't even talk about his perfect day. They acted like it didn't happen, like their story was already set. But anyone who really watched knows Shedeur didn't just throw passes, he made a point. When people tried to box him in with a bad stat, he didn't back down. He came back with a perfect performance on the same field they said he couldn't handle. You can fake hype online, but you can't fake being an awesome quarterback. Day 2 showed Shedeur's skills were on point. As always, his footwork was quick and smooth, setting him up to throw perfectly. I watched it slowly, and his arm moved the same way every time. He kept his body steady, not messing up his throws. His play fakes were so good, they tricked the defense into thinking he was handing off. He moved smoothly into his passing stance after faking. His other arm stayed tight, so defenders couldn't guess his moves. And his vision? It's like he could see the future. He threw to receivers before they were even open, trusting his timing. But being good at throwing is only part of it. Leading is the other half. On day 2, Shedeur acted like he was in charge, even as QB4. He was the first to talk about plays, helping receivers fix their routes. He cheered his teammates on and gave them tips when they messed up. Even the defensive players noticed how he was always focused and talking. That mix of skill and leadership is super rare for a rookie. It's what makes him more than just a new guy. He's a future star. And it was super clear on day 2 that he's got something special. Here's where it gets real. When Shedeur struggles, it's a but when he shines, like his 4 for 4, it's just another day. That's not fair. It shows the media picks and chooses what to say. Think about it. If Kenny Pickett went 3 for 8, would people say he's done? Or would they just say he needs more practice? If Joe Flacco did that, would fans say he's washed up or just call it practice? But when Shedeur, a rookie, isn't perfect, it's like the end of the world. When Pickett messes up, people say it's no big deal. He's experienced. But when Shedeur goes perfect 4 for 4, no one makes a fuss. No one tweets about how Pickett could learn from Shedeur's skills. No big stories about Flacco making a comeback either. It's not fair because it's not about football. It's about controlling the story. Shedeur being a young black quarterback with a famous dad shakes things up. He doesn't follow the usual rules and wants to be judged for his skills. This isn't just a guess. It's a pattern you can see. The Browns' quarterbacks are judged differently based on their names or how they act with the media. But Shedeur isn't here to play nice. He's here to change the game. Hey everyone, this is Huddle HQ, and no, I'm not a robot. I want to talk about August 21st. I'm doing a jersey giveaway. At first, it was just one jersey, but you all have shown so much love. I'm picking 4 of you to win a Shedeur Sanders jersey. Every comment you leave saying I've made it this far gives you a chance to win. Good luck, and thanks for all the support. Now, back to Shedeur. The team lineup isn't set in stone. On paper, it's Pickett, Flacco, Gabriel, then Sanders. But the only thing that matters is how well you play. And Shedeur's been showing he's got what it takes. Usually, older players get more chances to practice first. That's just how it works, but real talent changes the rules. Shedeur's perfect 4 for 4 on day 2 shook things up. Coaches and bosses can say they're sticking to the plan, but they can't ignore the video proof. If a coach sees that and doesn't give Shedeur more chances, they're not doing their job. In the real games, you can't wait for someone to get better. Quarterbacks have to prove themselves fast. Plus, the fans are starting to want Shedeur to play more. People are sharing clips of his perfect day all over the internet. Local reporters are talking about it. And the buzz around Kenny Pickett is fading. Everyone's starting to notice Shedeur's awesome plays instead. That excitement is growing every time Shedeur steps on the field. So, even if he's listed as QB4 right now, that's old news. His performance is changing the lineup one practice at a time. Shedeur's not just hoping to play, he's making it happen. Coaches want veterans to earn their spot, but they also want to win. And the best way to win is through the guy who went 4 for 4. Imagine Shedeur throwing to top players like Davi. Think about him throwing with a strong offensive line protecting him. His perfect passes would turn into touchdowns. His smart reads would make highlight videos every week. Every second he's not playing with the main guys is a missed chance. The coaches know this, and so does the team's front office. The Browns picked Shedeur for a reason. They believe in him. They've spent a lot on him, so there's no reason to wait. And don't forget the fans and teammates. They're pushing for him too. When people start chanting Shedeur, Shedeur at practice, coaches hear it. When his teammates praise how hard he works, it shows the team is changing. Winning the quarterback spot isn't just about throwing well. It's about earning everyone's respect. And Shedeur's doing that even off the field. Getting to play with the main guys isn't a prize, it's the next step. And when he gets that chance, everyone will see he's ready. Here's the deal. Shedeur Sanders won't let one bad stat define him. Day 1's 3 for 8 was a trick to make him look bad. Day 2's 4 for 4 was his answer. Proof he's the real deal. He's not just a famous name. He's a quarterback with skills, leadership, and heart. The haters will always look for something to complain about. The media will stick to their quick, easy stories. But Shedeur's future isn't about what they think. It's about what he does on the field. He's shown he can stay calm, throw perfectly, and lead his team. Every throw, every practice, every team event builds his case. He's not waiting for his shot, he's making it happen. So here's what you gotta do. Don't believe the half-true stories. Don't let catchy headlines trick you. Watch the videos, feel the excitement, and get ready. The day Shedeur steps into the main huddle is coming soon. When he takes over the Browns offense, you'll know you believed in him from the start. That perfect 4 for 4 day was just the beginning. Don't look away. Shedeur Sanders is only getting started. This is Field Report. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you tomorrow with more football news.